We got a wild report to break down on today's edition of Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and welcome in. So have the Minnesota Vikings been scouting Drake Maye since high school? That's what we're going to be breaking down on today's show, as a wild rumor has surfaced that Josh McCown and actually Sam Darnold had been watching Drake Maye a lot longer than most of us think. But before we dive into that, guys, we're actually in a sub-battle with our Falcons Today show here at Chat Sports. They declared battle on us since they took our quarterback. They're trying to pass us in subscribers. So if you guys need any more ammunition to subscribe to the channel, let's just beat the frickin' Falcons, man. Beat Kirk Cousins' new team. And also, we're going to have a video for you guys on everything that comes out around Minnesota. So make sure you guys are all subscribed. Stay in the loop with your Minnesota Vikings. But this was coming from Alec Lewis. He is the beat reporter for The Athletic that covers the Minnesota Vikings. And he had this to say about Josh McCown and Sam Darnold watching Drake Maye tape. He said McCown would watch Maye alongside Darnold, and they'd offer some collective feedback. McCown and Sam were watching every game. Talk about Drake Maye in high school. They were watching everything and breaking down every one of Maye's games. And, you know, this report came out from Alec Lewis, and I think it was kind of strategic, so it could be a smokescreen by the Minnesota Vikings to truly tell everybody, oh, we're all in on Drake Maye, we're all in on Drake Maye, and maybe they could be all in on J.J. McCarthy. But I think Drake Maye is by far the number one choice for the Vikings. And that report did come out. The Vikings were, Alec Lewis was talking to Paul Allen, actually, and then they were just talking about what's been going on. And then he dropped that said, because McCown was coaching Drake Maye back when he was in high school, and then also when McCown was teammates with Sam Darnold when he was with the New York Jets, they would watch all of Drake Maye's games and just helping him kind of develop as a quarterback. Well, that same thing could happen in Minnesota if they draft him. Obviously, with Josh McCown being the QB coach and Sam Darnold being QB1 for, you know, as it stands right now. But no doubt, Drake Maye is an absolute baller, and I do think he would thrive in this Vikings offense. You know, the stats from last season, a little bit of a down year for Drake Maye, but 65.8% completion percentage, 3,100 yards, pretty solid stats, 21 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, does have great dual threat ability, 270-plus yards, and 8 TDs on the ground. But my scouting report, I have been watching, honestly, too much film of all these guys, specifically Drake Maye and J.J. McCarthy. But Drake Maye, one of his biggest pros is the unreal arm. I mean, literally every blade of grass on the football field he can touch. Every route he can throw it about 70 yards, it feels like, and he's great at throwing the 50-50 ball. So I can just imagine him and Jefferson connected on those. It would be special. Akani has. He does get incredible happy feet in the pocket. He's a big pat the football guy. Show me is not a good thing. Kirk Cousins used to do that a lot early on in his career, which is funny enough. I actually saw somebody compare it on Twitter to Kirk and Drake Maye and how they used to pat the football all the time. So he doesn't really have the best pocket presence or just overall feet in the pocket, which I do think could get him in trouble. But I think with Kevin O'Connell, Josh McCown, they can clear that up pretty easily. Another pro I have for my man Drake Maye is his mobility. He runs very similarly, not as physical as a Josh Allen, but man, he really does remind me of him. He's not as big and as athletic as Allen, but he is kind of a poor man's Josh Allen running with the football. I saw a couple plays. He put a shoulder down, ran over a member of the secondary. So he has that. He's got good speed. He can break tackles. He's definitely a hell of a mobile quarterback, and he's a real do threat. And maybe the Vikings could start running read options. You know, him and Aaron Jones would be pretty sweet. But another con I do have him, and this is maybe me getting a little, nitpicky, but, it's real. He's got a slow release. If you look at a guy like J.J. McCarthy, he's got his ball on a freaking line, and it comes out fast, and he's got a whip of an arm. Drake Maye, he's kind of got this, he dips his elbow, and it's kind of this over-the-top throwing motion, and it's slower. It's very similar to Michael Penix. He's like the righty version of Penix, in my opinion, in terms of his throw motion, but it's definitely a slower release. So edge rushers, they close in faster in the NFL, could get him in some trouble. But I kind of mentioned this before. He's got great size to him. I mean, 6'4", 230-plus pounds. He's just going to even add more kind of ammunition, add more weight to that frame. So this is my scouting report of Drake Maye. I call him the biggest boomer bust prospect in this year's draft class, and this kind of explains my reasons why. But I do believe if the Vikings want to draft Drake Maye, it's going to take 3 first-round picks. Would you do it? Would you send 3 first-round picks for Drake Maye? Give me a T for trade or give me a P for pass down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts down below. Guys, I would do every single one of these trades. I would require the Vikings to go up and get Drake Maye. I would do it. If it takes 3 first-round picks and a couple extra thirds, whatever it may be, go get your franchise guy because the Vikings would get the best out of him. I mean, the Vikings you would be able to see the best version of Drake Maye in his NFL career if he does go to Minnesota. I mean, Kevin O'Connell, him able to sandpaper his game and really just highlight his pros while hiding his cons. So out of any landing spot, the Vikings would no doubt get the best out of Drake Maye in comparison if he went to New England or if he went to Washington with kind of the nonsense they have going on in that, in those organizations. Like, if he ends up in Minnesota, man, and he gets around these cats on this football team, he's going to be special. I mean, you're going to have Justin Jefferson to throw the 50-50 ball to. You're going to have a guy like Jordan Addison, one of the best separation creators in the NFL, franchise tight end, and TJ Hawkinson. He'll come back probably in early November. And then also Aaron Jones, man. Aaron Jones, that running game is going to be special for Minnesota. Then the biggest reason ever, head coach Kevin O'Connell. But coming up here on the show, Colin Cowherd had a very interesting quote that I showed you guys a couple times on past shows, but I kind of wanted to show it again because it completely seconds my thoughts on this upcoming draft for the Minnesota Vikings. But first, if you guys want to get your Aaron Jones jerseys, we got a sweet deal going on. If you guys head to chatsports.com/Vikings jersey, it will obviously have his updated number when you guys order it, but that link for that is in the comment section and description of today's show. Get your Aaron Jones jerseys today. Make sure you guys are rocking those for game day when the Vikings get back going here in September. But get the jerseys today. Aaron Jones. I'm going to think about getting an Aaron Jones jersey. And if you guys want to as well, hit that link down in the comment section and description. So this is what Cowherd had to say about the upcoming quarterback draft class. And, I thought he had a great point. He said, outside of Caleb Williams, who I think has unique talent to thrive wherever he's drafted, the second most successful quarterback in this draft will be whoever Kevin O'Connell of the Vikings lands. That's my official QB bet of the draft. And all I got to say is this 4 words. Where Colin was right. I totally agree with this, man. Like, I think Caleb Williams, he could go anywhere and he'll end up working out. But whether it's Drake Maye, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, whatever one of those 3 the Vikings draft, that will be the best quarterback or the second best quarterback in this draft class. And also this, Colin Cowherd is drinking the purple Kool-Aid clearly because he did his herd hierarchy yesterday, and I thought this was sweet. He had the Vikings as the 10th best team in the NFL. This could have been him, hyping up Sam Darnold. We obviously know Cowherd's got a man crush on him. But he also had the Packers at 4. He had the Lions at 3. He's all in on the NFC North. He said he was actually debating between the Bears and the Vikings as the 10th team he had. But no Bengals, no Cowboys in this top 10. And he decided to put the Minnesota Vikings in there. And I don't know if I have the Vikings as the 10th best team in the NFL right now. But no matter who the Vikings do draft, they're going to be better than people think. I mean, you look back at last season. They won 7 games without Jefferson and Kirk most of the year. I mean, I thought it was credit to Kevin O'Connell. I think it's credit to Brian Flores. And if you start thinking about, all right, what has won in the NFL over the past couple of years? Okay, great coaching staff. We have that in KOC and Flores. Great front office. And Kwesi's shown that this offseason. You got to have weapons. Vikings have that. You got to have dogs on defense. And the Vikings addressed that during free agency. Signing Jonathan Grenard. Signing Andrew Van Ginkel, signing Blake Cashman, then signing Shaq Griffin, and then earlier today they signed Jihad Ward as well. We had 5 sacks last season. So, and then you also add in Patrick Jones at that edge department. They're going to have 4 legitimate edge rushers that I would feel comfortable with Brian Flores deploying. And now you also got great linebackers in Ivan Place and Blake Cashman. Would like another corner, but honestly, if you just start looking at this roster top to bottom, truly, what is the biggest need right now? Probably interior offensive line, but I do expect them to make a strong push to get Dalton Reisner back at that left guard spot. But besides quarterback and interior offensive line, I mean, you guys answer down below. What is the biggest need? Because I really don't know besides quarterback and offensive line, maybe another corner as well. But one today's show with this. What do you guys think the Vikings record is going to be for next season? Obviously a little tough to predict right now with, not knowing who's going to be truly the starting quarterback, but let me know. Predict the Vikings record for me next year. I'll go safe. I'll go 10-7 as it stands right now. This is a very good roster top to bottom, and I really think people are failing to realize, just that. Excuse me. But if we get any more reports around this football team, we'll have a video for you guys as soon as possible. I'm just still waiting on the on the minute we get that notification saying the Vikings are trading up in this year's draft class. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Help us reach 24K. And as always, Skol Vikes.